the writing section of your English subject. As we know that English is divided into various sections for the students, like you have your comprehension section, then the literature section, the grammar section and the writing section. So in this video we will cover the topic of writing section, which is debate writing. Now actually it is not only writing, debate occurs in real, right? It is a verbal conversation or it is a verbal argument between either two speakers or group of speakers, where they debate about a particular topic or where they argue on a particular topic. One person goes for the motion and the other person goes against the motion. For the motion means that suppose the topic is school uniforms should be made compulsory. So one team will speak for the topic, that means in support of the topic, and the other person will speak against the topic, right? That one speaker will support wearing school uniform, the other person will be against the school uniform. Just an example of the topic that I am giving. So a debate is actually an argument between two teams which can contain either one speaker or two speakers. So the definition I already have explained, that it refers to an argument between two speakers or more than two speakers. The most common example of debate is, you can see, if you are aware about news, if you see news daily, then on that basis you can get the idea of how people debate over there. Maybe there are two opposition parties or the leaders of the opposition party who debate or who argue with each other on the topic which is of the day, right? The topic can be any, leading to corruption or anything. Topic can be anything, but this is what basically defines the debate. Now before you begin with a debate, keep in mind that you have to make an outline of the important points over which you are going to argue. So points to remember over here. Here we are not talking about verbal debate, we are talking about debate writing, which is a topic in your examination. There your examiner will analyze you on the basis of your skills, your ability to present your views or to argue on the relevant points, right? The examiner will also see how much presence of mind you have, and also you will be checked on the basis of your vocabulary and also on the knowledge that you are having over that particular topic. So points to remember is that your debate writing should not exceed 200 words. This is the first point to remember. If your debate is short, that means if it is only for 120 to 150 words, again some marks will be deducted. Yes, if it contains around 180 to 200 words, it's alright. Okay, till 220 also it is alright. But now if your debate writing is of 250 words and again it becomes more than the limit, again your marks will be deducted. So be sure to stay within the limit. Then the second point to remember is that you have to make an outline of important points before beginning the debate. Or before starting the debate, you have to keep in mind that you make sure that you know what all points are there over which you are going to argue with the opposition. Then the third point is Be clear about the facts. If you're talking on the basis of facts or numbers, then you should be sure that you are 100% aware about that number. You should know that whatever facts that you are providing are accurate. So you have to brainstorm your mind, and also you have to be prepared by analyzing everything, right? So these are some points to remember. Debate writing, how you have to begin your debate. It can be, first you have to address the chair. Address the chair means, like suppose if there is a debate writing competition or debate competition in your school, at that point of time there will be judges over there. Also there can be a chief guest. So there you have to address them. Address means you can greet them. Later on you have to put your point of argument. After putting your point of argument, you have to appeal for understanding. And after appealing for understanding, next you have to question your opposition. So these are some of the points that you have to include while writing a debate or while arguing with the person in a vocal form. So these are some points that you have to remember. Then later on in a debate, once your point of argument is done, then there is a question answer round. In this question answer round, both of the opposition parties will be questioning each other. Okay, they will have their question prepared in mind, and then they will raise the question. There are chances that the other person has the answer to the question, and there are chances where the other person becomes mum because you've asked a very strong question to which the opposition does not has any reply. So this is the basic format of debate writing. You have to be very specific in debate. You cannot say words which are unfamiliar. You cannot say something which is unrealistic. You have to be presentable. You have to speak something which is having some kind of fact or which is having some kind of sense. Do not talk senseless while speaking something or while arguing with the other person. So now we will understand the debate writing through an example. So now let us understand the debate writing through an example. Now the example that I am providing over here is the same example which is provided in the content section. When you click on debate writing, the same question is provided, and the question says that there is a topic, life in village is preferable to the life in city. So this is my topic, that life in village is preferable to life in city. Now here you are required to either speak for the motion or you can speak against the motion, but not in more than 200 words, because 200 words is the limit, right? Even when you speak in a debate, 2 minutes is the limit. You cannot exceed 2 minutes, otherwise again your marks will be deducted. So similar is the case over here. While writing a debate, if your words exceed 200, then obviously there will be deduction in marks. So you have to place all your points, you have to speak all the points what you want to speak, but being in that limit. That is also the point where the examiner analyzes you, that are you capable of speaking less and presenting more. So here let us begin. Even if you are speaking for or against, the introduction will be the same. Like first I will begin with greeting. So the first way through which we can begin is like by addressing the guess or the judge, right? Either you address the guest and judge both by speaking good morning or respected or whatever, and after that you will say I, and then your name is standing, sorry, I am standing before you to present my views. Either you can say in support of, or you can say against the topic, and then you will write your topic over here. Now the topic is life in village is preferable to the life in city. So this is the first method through which we can begin our debate. Another second method through which we can start our introduction is life in village is preferable to the life in city, right? So here with that you can either tell a fact. The fact is that cities are more polluted, right? People are less caring. So either present a fact or present a phrase or a proverb. And after presenting your fact, we can say good morning, respected, whoever you want to address. Okay? Then you will say I, your name. Again, you will then over here mention the same thing. I am standing before you, or I am here before you to speak on the topic this, as I am for the motion or against the motion. Whatever you want to speak, and then you can begin your debate over here. Now my debate over here is life in village is preferable to city. Now you can either be for the motion or you can be against the motion. Now suppose I am for the motion. So if I am speaking in support to the life in village, then I will say that life in village is much more preferable than to the life in city, and then you can put up the reasons over here. If I am speaking for the motion, what all can my reasons be? Like I can start with my opponents boast about lifestyle of city. They like the hustle and bustle of the city. But I feel that the life of village or life in village is much more soothing, as compared to the life in city. Why? Because the people in city have no time for others. They are self-centered, they are heartless, they become rude, they have a rude behavior towards others. But the people in the village are very friendly, they always support each other, they always look after each other. So this can be one reason. Again, you can put in the pollution part can also play a vital role while debating or arguing, as the cities over here are filled with pollution. You cannot find any fresh air. But in villages, the air is very fresh. Why? Because there's greenery all around. There is the scenery is very beautiful. It is very serene. And then you can talk about hospitals over here, that due to overpollution, people in cities are more prone to getting a lot of diseases, right? They lead to very unhealthy life. Also Then you can say the habitat over here, or the habits of people in cities is much more annoying because they're very used to partying and living a unhealthy lifestyle because they do not prefer healthy food or homemade food. Instead, they are always attracted towards junk food. So this can be another reason for the city life being very destroyed. So again, you can put on much more in for the motion. When you're speaking against the motion, for speaking against the motion, you can put in the points like the schools in the villages are not up to mark, the education over there is not as upgraded as in the cities. Again, over here we talked about hospitals. Even against the motion, we can talk about hospitals like there are not much hospital services over there. The transportation is also an issue in villages. Again, there are no mobile networks. So all those can come as a negative point of living in a village, because the development over here in the villages is not that much as it is in cities. So then you can place a point like the people from the villages are now shifting to the cities because even they want growth in children. The children are now moving out from the villages because they do not want to live the life of villages. They want to discover more opportunities. So more opportunities can only be present when you're living in cities. So then with that, you can also put in the points like I would like to bring the attention of audience to the point, and then you can place your point over here. So these are some of the ways in which you can begin, and you can be vocal with the speaker, with your opponent. Then the way in which you can end, you can say lastly, I would like to conclude by saying that, and whatever you want to say, and at last you will say thank you. So this is how we can begin our debate, and lastly, by concluding and by thanking all your audience and your judges, you will end your debate. At last, there's also a question answer round for which both the opponents need to be prepared with their question first in hand. So in this video, we have talked about debate writing. We have discussed the format. This is only the format of debate writing. There is no hard and fast rules. Then the same question is present in the content section. So in order to have a detailed view of the answer, visit the content section. Till then, keep learning and keep practicing.